minutes with us.
Congratulations on all your success. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. That means a lot more to me than you even understand. Hey guys, Cody Sperber, the Clever Investor here with the GOAT, Mr. Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Listen guys, Clever Summit is right around the corner. Now, the reason I asked Robert to speak at Summit is because this book changed my life. In 1999, my dad gave me this book when I was in the military. And I read it cover to cover. It was the first time I ever heard about assets and liabilities, and I couldn't put it down. It was a fantastic book. In fact, I passed it around the ship. I told all the guys, you got to read this book. It was a game changer. And since this is our last Clever Summit ever, I had to have the guy that got me started, the man himself, up on stage. So Robert, thank you for gracing our stage.
And I'm proud of you, and congratulations on all your success, and also for being in the Navy.
Yes, thank you.
You're talking about how it straightened you out?
All of it. It was a game changer.
Being in the Navy, I mean.
Yes, yeah. It taught me systems, processes, focusing on your health, discipline,
leadership, following orders.
So what are we going to be talking about at Clever Summit? What is inspiring you right now?
Well, I'm very concerned, as you know, between this gap of rich and poor. And I hate to say this, but we have weak leaders. In my opinion, Biden, I'm not Republican or Democrat. Trump is my really good friend because we're real estate guys. And, Donald Trump and I used to speak all over the world on real estate. Mm-hmm. And then one day he says, guess what, I'm running for president. I said, well, I'll pray for you tonight. But it really is, the reason we were teaching is the gap between rich and poor is too wide today. And I'm really an oil guy. I went to the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy to drive oil tankers. So I own oil wells. I don't own oil stocks. I don't own Exxon and Shell. I own oil wells. So when Biden took the pipeline, the XL pipeline off the list here, inflation went through the roof. So oil went from $30 a barrel to $130 a barrel. So I'm happy because I'm making millions. Unfortunately, Americans are getting poorer. And so the gap between rich and poor is growing so wide today because, as you know, without financial education, people have no idea what to do. So I'm very happy to be talking at your event, the Clever Summit, and because real estate, you've got to have real estate. When people talk to me about starting a business, in 1974, I came back from, 73, I came back from Vietnam. I was a Marine pilot. And my poor dad says to me, get your PhD. And I said, PhD? He says, why do I need a PhD? It's my poor dad. Because he says, you got a job then. I went, oh my God. But PhD stands for poor, helpless, desperate. So I go see my rich dad, who was my best friend's father, and he says, what do you want to do? I said, I want to be an entrepreneur. He says, I'll give you rule number one. So I'll listen to this. He says, the purpose to build a business, buy real estate. He says, that's the only reason you want to take the risk to start a business, because the business buys the real estate. So when you look at the models of the world, you got to look at McDonald's. McDonald's sells hamburgers, but their business is real estate. And if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you've got to learn how to acquire real estate. So I have several $1 billion worth of real estate. But the thing I love about real estate is I use debt, and I pay no taxes. So real estate is an essential asset class for entrepreneurs, except most people just want to start a business because they want to contribute to the world. I start businesses to buy real estate.
Well, what I love about that, and you mentioned leverage, there's so many creative ways to get into real estate. And I built my entire career about being the clever investor, finding these creative paths to flipping houses, owning rentals, getting into multifamily, getting into Airbnb, using other people's money. And those are the types of topics we're going to be talking about. Building wealth, it can seem overwhelming when you're new, but it really, there's people who have blazed the path ahead of us that have done it, that have written the game plan, where literally all you got to do is mirror what other successful people have done.
Well, if you think of it this way, if I own I own several $billion of oil, I own the biggest gold mine in the world, and I own billions of dollars of real estate like Trump. You think we did it with our money? You can't work hard enough to get that much property. So it starts up here. So that was my rich dad taught me that. And again, all you guys who want to be, I don't care if you're Bitcoin or an entrepreneur with tech and all this, the purpose of being an entrepreneur is to buy real estate, because I use debt and I pay zero taxes. Debt and zero taxes. And real estate is the best way to do that. So that's what I talk about, is I use debt, I use OPM, and I pay zero taxes. Now, if you want to work hard, pay a lot of taxes, then become a PhD.
Well, Robert, as soon as I announced you, we sold out of in-person tickets. That was it. Like within 2 days. Thank you. They all went. Great news though, we still have virtual tickets available at a discount. The price is going up here as we get closer to the event. The event is right around the corner. If you want 3 powerful days of training with guys like Robert Kiyosaki, we got Pace Morby, Jamil Damji, Chris Crone, Carlos Reyes. Some amazing women are gracing our stage too. Jenna Hoover, Vina Jetty. Vina Jetty owns over $500 million worth of apartments. She is an absolute powerhouse. We got Amy Majori.
You can't get $500 million working hard. That's what people don't understand, is that our schools are taught to be what they call proletariat. You know, when I went to military school, so I had to study the Communist Manifesto. So there's the bourgeoisie, there's a capital class, but there's the working class. That's the proletariat. Our schools teach people to be proletariat. Now, if you can hear that, you'll understand why the gap between rich and poor is growing so wide, why American is going more Marxist than capitalist. And that's why I'm honored and I'm thrilled at what you're doing, because we have to train more people to be capitalist. We have too many Marxists today. Our schools are teaching, what are they teaching? Gender identity and critical race theory and all this. Why not teach us how to buy real estate?
Right before we started this filming, one of our camera guys mentioned that after he graduated from high school, he missed a one-day class on credit card and finance. 1 day. All of high school, 1 day dedicated towards financial literacy. How is that even possible? It's absolutely outrageous what they're doing to our kids. So
there's something bigger than that, though, because there's different teachers out there. Like Dave Ramsey is my friend, and he says live debt-free. Now, you want to believe that? More power to you. He recommends a 401k. I don't touch the stuff. So if you want to find out how I use debt to get rich, and I'm $1 billion in debt, but how I buy everything with debt, then don't listen to Dave Ramsey and come to your event here. Because what happened in 1971, the US dollar became debt when Nixon took us off the gold standard. So I was flying in Vietnam at the time and going, what does that mean? The dollar is now debt. So I come back to the States. My poor dad says, get my PhD, which stands for poor, helpless, and desperate, be a professor. Yeah. Or my rich dad says, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you've got to learn how to buy real estate with debt. It's opposite of what they teach you in school. So I'm a multi-billionaire. My best friend sold his business for $2 billion because we know how to use debt. Because what happened in 71? The dollar became debt. And excuse me, and the more debt you have, you don't pay any tax. That's how we teach.
Do you listen to Ray Dalio?
A little bit.
He put out a video that, you know, YouTube promotes videos to you. I just happened to click on it. It was this whole evolution of the decoupling of the dollar and done in a cartoon form. It was actually pretty well done. It explained how important that moment in time was when they left the gold standard.
That was 71. and the dollar became debt. But always remember the purpose of being an entrepreneur. The business buys your real estate. So this building we're in today, I'm not paying for it. My business pays for it. I don't pay for it. My tenants pay for it.
So what do you think about Airbnbs right now?
Well, Airbnbs are, that's your generation's type of thinking, which I think is excellent. The thing I like about Airbnbs is kind of like Uber. The entrepreneur has no skin in the game. Like if I'm an Uber, if I owned Uber, the Uber driver puts up the car. And Airbnb, the investor, puts up the building. So I like in concept. But like anything is who operates it. Who is the operator? And that's why they've got to come to listen to what you say, because you can have the best Airbnb, but be a bad operator, you're going to lose money.
We're going to teach some creative Airbnb strategies at the event that I think that people will really like, because I figured out a way to buy Airbnbs using other people's money and then get the money back out of the Airbnb. So now you just have good long-term debt on it. So private lenders get you into it, get them back out, give them their money back. I even let my private lenders stay in the deal, but they have all their money back. It's infinite returns to them, and now we got good long-term debt on it. So you're not going to want to miss these types of talks, because nobody else is really teaching this stuff. And if you're not, I believe this with all of me, if you're not willing to invest in yourself, go to an event, watch an event, dedicate a few days, 3 days out of your entire life to learn these things. If you're not joining masterminds, hiring coaches and mentors, surrounding yourself with people that are talking a really big financial literate game, then you've already lost. You're not going to be a good investor, because you're going to have so much fear and so many voices, and you're going to hesitate and procrastinate, and you're not going to actually take advantage of a good opportunity when it comes across your desk, because you're going to be overanalyzing everything. But the people that are self-educating constantly, which, by the way, I love your cash flow game.
Thank you.
I think everybody needs to be playing games like that. Everybody needs to be reading books like this. Once you get it and you click, it's not scary anymore. And now every time a good deal comes across my desk, I feel it. Like, do you get the investor tingle, like where you're just like, I know this is a deal, I got to go for it?
So let me tell you, my poor dad always said save money, and then you put your money in a 401k. I would never do that. Okay. And what Rich Dad says, you always want to use other people's money. But then I hear people say, but I don't have any money. I don't have any money. And to that person, I still say, that's why you go to seminars. Because my rich dad said only lazy people use their own money. See, the reason I can go to $1 billion is because I use other people's money. And when somebody says, I don't have any money, I said, but that's why you want to study. That's why you want to go to seminars. I spent most of my life in seminars, learning how to use other people's money. So I can never say, well, I can't do it because I don't have any money. Only poor people say I don't have any money, because rich people are taught to use other people's money anyway and pay no taxes.
Well, listen, you're never going to have a money problem in the real estate business. You'll only have a creativity problem. And by being around other creative investors, you start to learn these things. I'm excited to hear your training. This is going to be the biggest, baddest event in the real estate space by far. It is my last event. I have so many special surprises. I literally am sparing no expense. If you're one of the people in audience, you're in for a real treat. And for everybody else, don't sleep on this event. These 3 days, lock your doors, tell your kids and your wife and your friends that you just need 3 days to focus. It's going to change your life. The price of admission for a virtual ticket is nothing. You're going to waste money on Starbucks and some scones, and it's not going to give you an ROI. I'm telling you right now, if you want to get wealthy, you need to listen to guys like Robert. You need to hear the speakers that are on this stage, because I pulled every favor I have. I've been in this business for 18 years. I pulled every favor that I could to get these amazing human beings to clear their schedule for 3 days to train you. And if you don't think 3 days can change your life, you are dead wrong. This book changed mine. I read it cover to cover when I was in the Navy, and I never forgot the lessons that were in it. I believe with all of me that these 3 days is going to change your life. So virtual tickets are available right now. We are going to stop selling them 1 week out from the event. So if you still see the link, they're available. Grab yours today and come join us, because Clever Summit 2022 is going to be a game-changing event. That's all I have for you right now. Thank you, Robert, for spending a few minutes with us.
Congratulations on all your success. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. That means a lot more to me than you even understand, because I'm telling you.
What I'm proud about is your teaching. I hate to say you're quitting, but I'm glad you're teaching.
You know, maybe there will be a new version. Right now, the opportunity in the real estate space is too big. I'm raising a lot of money right now. We're buying a ton of real estate. I'm making more money than I ever have in the real estate space ever, and I see that this window is right now. We were talking about inflation and stuff. It's out of control. Our leadership is out of control. Now is the time to take advantage of these market shifts before it's too late. And for me, when I see something like this, I get that feeling. I gotta go. And unfortunately, us entrepreneurs think we could do everything, and you can't. You gotta say. My mentor used to always say, Cody, yes gets you out of Egypt. No takes you to the promised land. And I didn't understand until I was later in the game that I said yes to everything. But as you start becoming more successful, you got to say no, and just get laser focused on the things that actually move the needle the most. And so for me, it's the real estate space right now. It's my new network marketing company that we just launched. Those are going to be the biggest needle movers. I love my students. I love training. It is in me. I'll probably never stop, but it might be in the metaverse in the future. I think the rebirth of whatever comes next down the road, we shall see. But appreciate you saying that. And we're excited to teach you at Clever Summit. Grab your virtual tickets today, and we'll see you April 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, streaming live from the MGM in Las Vegas. See you there.